Hello guys, welcome back to Review Rant. Today, we are talking about the most overhated sequel of all time, 1989's Ghostbusters 2. Now, Ghostbusters 2 has a special place in my heart. It was actually the first Ghostbusters movie I watched, and personally, one of my favorite movies of all time. My top 10 list, maybe even my top 5 list. This movie is a fantastic movie, and it goes along just as well with the first movie. In fact, I'd go as far to say this is one of the best sequels of all time. Ghostbusters 2 is fantastic. For one, we have the same characters as the first movie, and they build upon each other. They build the world out and the scope of New York. They have more ghost, more action, more fun, more comedy. And to a certain extent, I do see some tiny bit of criticism that some people have. But at the end of the day, this movie, what it did phenomenally well. This movie delivered a Ghostbusters sequel. For one, we have the same characters from the first one, which is really good, and they stay the same. We also have Vigo, the Carpathian, which is a great villain. In some ways, doesn't rival Gozer, but it sure is a back-to-basics good form. I would say Vigo is better than the villain from Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. And on the topic of the characters, we have some more returning members. Not only the Ghostbusters returning, but Dana Barrick, Lewis, and Janine also return for this movie, which also, again, makes it really feel like a sequel to Ghostbusters. But that's not to say that we have not all new characters, because we now have Janosz, Baby Oscar, and Kurt Fuller's character, Jack, which I guarantee that you will hate. We also have some brief cameos. By the way, Jason Reitman is in this. Yes, a young Jason Reitman, before he directed Ghostbusters Afterlife. But moving from the characters to the plot is pretty straightforward. It's very simple, but very well executed. Let me explain. So the story takes place 5 years after the New York situation, when the Ghostbusters have lost their credibility due to the whole marshmallow situation. The city's former heroes are now looking for jobs. However, when Dana and her baby yet have another terrifying encounter with the supernatural, it is up to Peter Venkman and his fearless team of supernatural crime fighters to step up and save the day one more time. But that's just a little briefing of the plot. I do think you should watch the movie, unspoiled, because it is an absolute treat. But I do want you to watch the first movie, and then the second movie. Because I think in order to watch these movies, you need to watch the first one before the sequel. It is so good on how everything feels the same, and it actually feels like a continuation. And that's what sequels should do. They should build the format of the first one. I don't just think this is a perfect movie, but I think this is the perfect sequel. It has so many iconic scenes, in my opinion, with the courthouse scene. So many other scenes, especially towards the final act with the Statue of Liberty. I remember when I was younger, I used to be fascinated by that scene, and a whole bunch of other just really scary moments too that usually got me when I was like a really small child. I was like 3 or 4 watching Dr. Janosz have these weird glowing eyes that freaked me out. Also, another thing was when I was younger, I also used to have kind of a fear of Vigo, because he really creeped me out, especially with the whole slime thing, too, and how the slime played into the movie, which I thought the slime, again, was a fantastic idea, how it feeds off of negative energy from New Yorkers. Again, New Yorkers are evil and stuff. I'm just joking, people. Please, no New Yorkers try to attack me, man. But I love how, Vigo was he terrified me as a kid. He just had this voice, and especially when the Ghostbusters were looking at the pictures that Venkman took, it freaked me out when they all started catching on fire and they had that demon face. Frightening.
I've seen it before.
Where?
When you guys had me dangling like a worm on a hook 100 feet below First Avenue. That's the river of slime.
What? Ray.
Hey, you need a blanket or a hose or something.
Get out.
What? Why is this closed?
What's that?
Get down! Hey, fire!
Back away.
What are we gonna do? Put our heads in the toilet?
Hey!
And a few other scenes and moments and lines, and the majority of the movie, actually, no, the entire movie, I love. I love this movie. I do not get why you don't like it. I respect your opinion. The people who don't like it, I have seen YouTubers who I really like and really enjoy who have mixed opinions on this movie or just don't like this movie and call it soulless. But me personally, at the end of the day, I love this movie, and no one is going to make me change my opinion. And for the longest time, I used to think that this movie had to be in, last spot because everyone else said so. But over the few years, I've been, growing more of my conscience and mind, and now, at the end of everything, I really think that I love this movie. I love this movie. It's a great movie. It's a fantastic movie. Don't let anyone change your mind. If you really like this movie, like it, man. I love this movie. Don't let anybody change your opinion, because at the end of the day, it is your opinion and your life. So don't let anyone control you. Watch this awesome movie, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Bye-bye.
Just do it!